Hi, Pranam. Uh, Namaskar. I hope the Lord guides me right with this. And as Einstein commented, if you can't explain it clearly to your 5-year-old, you have not understood it yourself. So let me start from there and try to explain it like I'm explaining it to a 5-year-old. Now, before Einstein presented his special relativity theory, we knew that time is a constant. And we had a perspective that it is moving in a direction going forward. That is how Copernicus and the other old thinkers had put down time, Newton and everything else. The time is moving forward and it's a constant. It's always moving forward. But how do you measure time? Time is measured by light, the speed of light, which is photon. That is a particle of light, and the paradox is it can be a particle or a wave. Now, with Einstein, he explained with the special relativity theory that time is not an exclusive phenomenon. It is bound with space, and it's a space-time continuum. Space-time continuum. So you get to time, space, and energy. It's a space-time continuum. It's like a box. And then he made a statement: the past, present, and future are stubbornly persistent illusions. Now, where he was meeting this firm was beyond space-time, beyond time and space. Because if the past, where is the past? It's in your mind. It is not some objective phenomenon somewhere. Where is the future? It is again in your mind. It's something you're planning about tomorrow. It doesn't really exist. So how can the present be real? If the past isn't real, the future isn't real, how can the present be real? Nothing is there. There's always only a presence. The presence you can call, it is the present, and it's always the present. You can say that. But it is the presence over the past, present, and future. It's always an eternal moment. And that moment is undefinable. Because what do you say is a moment? When you say a moment, you have to calculate it in time. You're stuck again with trying to define time. There you're stuck again with the speed of light. Light is the only way to define time. The speed of a photon. That we know is constant, but Einstein showed it is relative in space-time to the observer. So who is the observer? He's beyond space-time. Now I'll get to a statement by Stephen Hawking. For space-time to exist, there has to be a supreme intelligence beyond space-time. Now, you get it. You get to now thoughts of everything. Who is that? Islam says it's Allah. Hinduism says it's Ishwar. Christianity says it's God the Father. Hinduism philosophy says it's Ma Kali, from where space-time springs from. And it is unconsciousness and chaos which gets aware, and then it becomes conscious, and it becomes what we can observe as consciousness and energy in this dimension. As we know, what we see is only 0.035% of the electromagnetic field around. So unconsciousness gets conscious, and we are in this reality of this dimension. There are so many other dimensions possible. So heaven may be another dimension when we get over this gross reality of this form and realize this is not us. Some people just remain in that and remain in different kind of forms. That is according to Hindu philosophy. You take for life in different kind of forms all over the world if you're stuck in gross reality. And we are in the highest realization of gross reality, the state of a man. Because we also have consciousness, and we have language, and we can share ideas, and we are more than an animal. We have the spirit with us. So by realization is heaven, or moving on in life, is moving on from this dimension, this gross reality, and we can express it even now. We is the subtle reality of thoughts, emotion, feelings, which is not this gross reality of this form. And we know this form, what we see, is only 0.035% of the electromagnetic field. Now, the amazing thing, whatever you see of this gross reality around you doesn't exist without the observer. Phenomenal. Because Einstein, before he died, it was his biggest problem. He thought, even if he's not watching the moon will still exist. But it is not true. Physicists have confirmed this. that when you're not watching the moon or you're not watching something, it doesn't exist. Only when you look at it, you create it. So you are fundamental in creating whatever you're seeing. The participant who's fundamental in creating. Only when you look at the moon exists. You are creating the moon with your participation. Exists with you. Without you, it doesn't exist. Phenomenal. Crazy. So that gets us to a thought by Shankara. There is no observer and observed. There is only observation. Phenomenal. You're again back to who's the observation by? It is that beyond space-time. He's not an observer. He is what is happening in space-time, the observation. Everything that is happening everywhere around, it's only observation. There is no observer and observed. There is no duality in space-time. That is what Shankara talked about, non-duality in space-time. There is non-dual. There is no observer observed. There is only observation. That is consciousness with the highest, beyond space-time. Non-dual realization with the one, beyond space-time. I hope it wasn't a bouncer, but hope you understood. The past is dead. The future is dead. How can the present be real? There is always only a presence, which is this moment. Now, how do you define this moment? Impossible. You're stuck with time, which is you are caught with the speed of light, which is photon, which can be a particle or it can be a wave, and it's undefinable. And it's the biggest paradox of physics which still exists. Of what is this space-time? How can time be relative to the observer, and what is it? We don't know. Those answers, maybe some great physicists will come to some answers soon and we'll know. This is my realization. So you're not part of space-time. You're beyond space-time observing this. That is the philosophy of Shiva and Mahakal. The Mahakal is the still witness of Kal, time, space and energy and consciousness. That is the state of Mahakal. And space, time and energy comes from Mahakali. Islam says it comes from Allah. Hindus and other philosophies says it comes from Ishwar. Then their philosophies of the Trinity. How man becomes one with that one. Which in Christian is God the Father through His Son with His Holy Spirit. Which God the Father is that one beyond space-time. With His Son, which is the state of the Jesus Christ, or the state of mind of Christ, with the Holy Spirit, which is His state of consciousness. The Brahman Trinity of that oneness with God, which how the Brahman comes into being, like a Shiva or the others. They're all different, but the Brahman Trinity is Jagat. Jagat is the world, the mind, or the brain, or whatever is creating the world. Jagat, Jiva, the soul, the state of consciousness, and Ishvara, which is God, that one. What is consciousness? It is awareness, and it is the state of awareness we are in, and there are different states of awareness. In the lowest, we are in that I said gross reality, where you're seeing that 0.035% of people as real. That is just gross reality, and we know that is just one dimension of reality, and it is just a reflection of unconsciousness getting aware and getting conscious and watching that. There's nothing else happening. There was nothing created and all that jazz. It's often happening right here now, where it's over and finished. And it's a presence, eternal presence. How does time move forward? Now, time moving forward, the only thing we have is really is understood by, is more to do with entropy. It's a science principle that all matter disintegrates going forward. So everybody's idea is time is moving forward. But time is not moving forward or backward. It's a chaos in space-time. And you're going here, there, everywhere. It's nothing. It's just a chaos of space-time, a continuum. You have to reach the state of Mahakal, the witness of space-time, and just watch life go by. That is the journey of a yogi or a sadhu, and just witness space-time and be in your peace. That is where you get bliss, ananda, peace. It's finding your peace with yourself. It is in stillness. Now, Quran doesn't say that being still you can be one with Allah. It's no. But the enough reference in the Quran that the only way to get to a state of peace is to get to stillness. So in space-time, the only way to get to peace, even the Quran agrees, is to get to a state of stillness. And stillness can only be when you're beyond space-time. In space-time, it's always moving. Because the mind is always moving. It's wavering. Consciousness and energy is always in a mess. It's a chaos. That's what even the Mahakali philosophy says. Kal is always in chaos. and you have to get to state of Mahakal, a state of complete still peace, witness, soul of Mahakal. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10, the Bible. Cheers. Peace. God bless. A small piece. Cheers. Peace. God bless. I hope I made sense. If I don't, doesn't forget about it. Think I'm mad. It doesn't affect me. I'm in Mahakal. I'm cool. It doesn't affect me at all. I'm beyond all the chaos of space time. If you understood, great. You can get to that state. If you did, forget about it. Fuckers crazy. Cheers. God bless.